Readers, today I am featuring a short story collection, The Creativity Project, edited by Colby Sharp. This is a broad and varied collection of creative pieces resulting from a collaborative experiment. 44 creators responded to a creative prompt provided by a co-contributor. The result is a stunning collection of words, art, poetry, and stories by some of our most celebrated creators of children's books. A section of extra story starters by every contributor provides fresh inspiration for readers to create works of their own. Today I am featuring a prompt by Jessixa Bagley. You go to visit a distant relative who lives in an old Victorian house. While everyone is downstairs having tea, you quietly sneak away and explore the rooms upstairs. While you are looking around, you come across a loose floorboard. When you inspect it, the board comes up, and inside you find, and here is the response by Liesl Shurtliff, which has been titled The Fairy Under the Floor. The old ladies were having tea again, and young people were not welcome. Being barely 10 years old, Magdalena was instructed to keep quiet and out of sight. "What am I to do?" Magdalena asked. "Do?" said Aunt Olive. "I don't care what you do, as long as you don't destroy anything." Good heavens, what a silly question. Magdalena thought it wasn't at all a silly question. The grand old house at 421 Gray Lane was not a place for children. The furniture was white and expensive. Breakable things were at every turn. The walls were covered with oil paintings of fruit and flowers and Aunt Olive's dearly departed dog, Belinda. There was no television, no computer, no books, except a dusty old set of encyclopedias that probably still marked Pluto as a planet. There was not a suggestion of youth or imagination. Great Aunt Olive had never married, never had any children, never desired them, and never welcomed them into her home. She certainly wasn't pleased when Magdalena showed up on her doorstep, suitcase in hand. But Magdalena was certain Aunt Olive's feelings were nothing compared to hers. It was one of the worst moments in her young life. As Aunt Olive would say, it quite did her in. As the old ladies in hats and handbags came to the door, Magdalena went upstairs and wandered from room to room, exploring shelves and drawers and closets. She found an old chess set, the only evidence of play within the house, but then she had no one to play with. There were no children in the neighborhood. How she wished she had someone to keep her company besides Great Aunt Olive. Magdalena took a step, and the floor beneath her groaned. She paused, then bounced up and down a few times. Her foot seemed to sink into the floorboard, and the other end of the floorboard lifted up. She bent down and wedged her fingers under the board. A secret hiding space. Perhaps Great Aunt Olive had a stash of jewels, or a treasure map, or the remains of her deceased dog. How horrific. Her heart beat a little faster as she lifted the board, but when she looked inside, there was nothing there. Just dust and mouse droppings. She replaced the floorboard and flopped down on the bed. Something flapped in her face. Magdalena shrieked and swatted at it. She'd let a bird into the room. It flew to the ceiling, then to the window, then back to her. It was very fast, small, and colorful. Maybe a hummingbird? Whatever it was, Aunt Olive wouldn't be happy to find a bird in the house, especially if it did its business on the floor. She would have to catch it and let it out. "You summoned me?" said a small voice. And this has been a preview from the Creativity Project.